I'm sort of liking this field that we have right now. I got a lot of good compliments. Like Pastor Mike, what Curtis had to say really blessed my life. Pastor Hollis, what James said, Pastor James blessed my life. Everybody was talking about Tiffany's comment, whatever it was. It was just talking about it. The judge, I've learned, I think the quote was, I've become a judge of other people's sins and a lawyer of my own. Meaning that I'm good at telling you what's wrong about you, but I make excuses about what's wrong about me. So I want to kind of keep that same flow. Who better to teach us how to deal with quarantine than Noah? Noah. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6, verses 9 through 10. Again, if you're listening and watching right now, share this as I'm speaking. Come on, hit the screen. Give me a couple hearts. Let's make sure everybody knows that the word is about to start. If you're ready, here we go. Ready, set, grow. These are the records of the generation of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his time. Noah walked with God. Look at verse 10. Noah became the father of three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. In the book of Genesis, which means the beginnings, the book of the beginnings, we are introduced to a host of characters that revolutionize history. Adam, who stands high above everybody, was given the world on a silver platter and he blew it. It was a tree that he wasn't supposed to touch and he just couldn't do it. I'm telling you, man, Adam literally had to have what Jesus says don't touch. And many of us can empathize with him because there's some stuff in our life we keep touching that was off limits. It's some places we keep going. And can we be honest? Why does everything we're not supposed to do feel so good? Like I never forget as a child, I was eating some food and it was spicy and I was doing fine until somebody told me, don't touch your eyes. Now all of a sudden I'm looking like I gotta touch my eyes. I gotta touch my eyes. It's almost like that it is innate in all of us to not want to be confined. Did you catch what I just said? Here's my thinking behind it. Here's my thinking behind it. If we're made in the image of God and God is a ruler, God embraces this privilege of being able to create whatever is in lack and to fill wherever there is a void. He's omnipresent, which means he can be what he want to be. And if I'm in his likeness, there's a part of that in me that don't like boundaries and don't like boxes, don't like labels. But the problem is being spiritually disciplined teaches me to embrace boxes, to embrace labels, to embrace the things that God is calling me to. And I want you to catch this. What do we realize about Adam that we can make applicable to our life? Put this on the screen. The choice that changed my life. Adam just had to have it. In life, your life will be the sum total of the choices you make. Hollis, I want you to jump in right here because there was a quote you said to me years ago. I hope you can remember. I'm going to try my best to quote it. You make it make sense for me. You were born looking like your parents, but you die
looking like your decisions.
Elaborate on that, man.
So it's this idea that you share similarities based upon your nature or your nurture. You're born looking like your mom, your father because of your genetic similarities. But at a certain point, once you're on your own, you stop looking like them and your life starts to resemble the decisions that you've made.
I want to ask you a question real quickly. What decisions do you still resemble? That's a strong statement. You were born looking like your parents. You can't look at me and not see Mike Sr. Now that we're in quarantine and I can't black out, all my secrets out now. I was looking young and good because I could black all this out. Now, if you can look closely, it's gray right here and it's gray right here. Anybody who knows my dad know he grays right here and right here. I look just like Mike McClure Sr., but I'm going to die looking like the decisions of Mike McClure Jr. And what I want you to understand is throughout the Bible, we see a symbiotic thread of bad decisions. Don't touch that tree. I got to touch it. And I want you to understand what choice are you currently positioned in front of that can change your life. Oh, here comes Noah, who's making the right decision. God sees a man who's determined to do it the right way. God's way. It says right here in Genesis chapter 6, verses 9, these are the records of the generation of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his time. Noah walked with God. That's critical. He's a righteous man, blameless in his time. Can you highlight that in the lower third right there? There it is. He's a righteous man, one, blameless in his time, two. Let's do this. I want to do this real quickly. Dre, center me. So on my left side, I want you to put blameless. On my right side, I want you to put righteous because those are two different categories. Righteous, I'm right with God. Blameless, people can't find fault in me. Did you catch that? To have favor with God and man. See, that's what we don't do a good job of. Well, if I got the favor of God. It's too many folk fighting about favor who people consider fools. I don't think you heard what I just said. What am I trying to get? When I was young, I didn't care who liked me. I was so wild. I didn't care who liked me. I probably owe the whole city of Birmingham, pastorally wise, an apology. I was wild. I felt like they didn't like me. I didn't care who didn't like me. I didn't need favor with no man. God loved me. I got the favor of God on my life till I realized you need people. Until I tried to get builders, they said, no, you're a little too wild for us. No, but I got favor. I got favor. I got favor. But you need to be in right standing with man too. He said to have favor with God and man. Did you catch that? Did y'all really catch that? Noah, this is critical, it's right there on your screen. He was righteous and blameless. The pursuit of every individual listening to me right now should be, watch this, favor with God and favor with man. I want heaven to speak well of me, and I want earth to love me. No, take that back, because that's not real. Because the people will find fault in anything you do. I want heaven to speak well of me, and I want earth to speak well of me. They don't have to like me. See, this is what I've determined. You don't have to like me to say you're doing a good job. You get what I'm saying? Because certain people are just going to go out their way to say bad things about you. He had favor with God and man because he was determined to do it God's way. And because he did it God's way, God gave him something. What did God give him? I'm so glad you asked. A command. So many people think when they live right, they're going to get a perk. When you live right, you get a command. And how you respond to the command determines the perk. You missed what I just said right there. God instructs Noah to build an ark because it's about to rain. And I told you last week that obedience is the key. You're waiting on a miracle when God's waiting on obedience. I think a lot of you missed what I said right there. You're waiting on a miracle when God is waiting on obedience. God opening the door isn't a big thing. He does what he wants to do. Thank you, grandmama. When he wants to do it, how he wants to do it, because he's God. The problem is he's waiting on your obedience. How many times have you been waiting on God to send a blessing laced in your disobedience? Think about that. That's why you don't even feel right praying when you're living wrong. Because obedience brings boldness. That's a slide. Obedience brings boldness. Mike gonna have the audacity. Mike 3 got the audacity to tell me this morning, I'm getting ready to walk out the house. Dad, I need you to take me to the store. I need to get mama something. And I'm like, no. The way that goes is, Daddy, will you take me to the store? But then he had that obedience. He obedient, because I told him, you get these A's, I'm going to do what you want me to do. So because he's been obedient, this can preach, and he fulfilled his end of the deal, he can now put scripture on it, come boldly to the throne of grace. I'm trying to help somebody. So what's the difference between Adam and Noah? Adam, which sounds like atom bomb, Adam, I believe that's not by coincidence because he blew everything up. Adam was favored but disobedient. Noah is obedient then picked. I don't think you heard what I just said. Adam is favored then disobedient. Noah is obedient then picked. See, many of us, the problem with a lot of people who walk in favor is the fact that the reason you're so disobedient is because you're so gifted. And because you're so gifted and God has picked you, you absolutely think God needs your gift. I'm going to say something that people with favor don't want to hear. Creative singers, preachers, musicians, talented people who actually think God needs you. Let me free you. God don't need none of us. Did you hear what I said right there? God doesn't need any of us. Why, Pastor Mike? He doesn't need any of us because he wants us to realize very quickly, and I want you to catch this, your gift came from me. And if your gift came from the manufacturer, it means I got a lot more of them in production. Did you catch that? Adam had a problem with obedience. Noah was obedient. Then he's picked. So when we tiptoe into the corridors of today's text, we meet Noah. God is upset with the world. We find that to give you context so you can respect the content. Genesis chapter 6, verses 5 and 7. Then the Lord saw the wickedness of man was great on earth, that every intent of his heart was evil, only evil. Why is that? Because you have to understand this is post-fall. God, who is sitting in heaven, has Lucifer, who is the light bearer. His name literally means morning star. Lucifer is positioned strategically before God, so God's glory shine through Lucifer. The problem that Lucifer had, he could no longer discern the difference between God's glory and his reflection. He started to embrace what was coming. Oh, this is good. He started to embrace what God was doing through him as him. Did you catch that? He started to embrace what God was doing through him as what he possessed. Be careful when you think the giver is no longer needed because you got the gift. The reason I give God glory in everything I do is because I am not a light, I am just a reflection. That ought to be a hashtag for everybody right there. I'm just a reflection, which is why we see this trickle down throughout history with our paternal parents and with our spiritual parents when they tell you better act like you from this house when you get outside because you are a reflection. Why does God get frustrated with his children on earth? Because when we step outside the will of God, we no longer reflect him. Why? This is why I firmly believe when Jesus situated and acculturated on that cross and he says, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, God, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Notice all throughout his life, God has been affirming him. This is my well son in whom I'm well pleased. When he's baptized, the sky breaks open and the Holy Spirit descends like a dove. And Jesus, in my opinion, is frustrated now. Like you were with me when I was baptized. You were with me when I fed 5,000 because I had to stand there in the Bible says 5,000 men hungry, not including women and children, and he broke the bread and he blessed it, meaning he had a conversation with divinity in front of everybody, and God said, boy, do what you're gonna do. But now that I'm on the cross, you looking at me and I feel rejected, and I believe the conversation is this. God looked at him and said, because when you were on that cross, you put on all the sins of man, so when I saw you, I don't see my reflection. And because you got an assignment to do, I have to turn my back on what does not look like me. Lucifer is in heaven. He's fell in love with the reflection. That's why you better be careful. Be careful. That's critical, James. That's why when you would take me places with you early in my music career and you would let me sing in the middle of your show, you would tell me, I'm gonna do the intro, boom. You jump in and do what you do. And once I was done, I would get out the way. You want to know why? Because even though I'm Pastor Mike Jr., if you allotted me 5 minutes within your 15 minutes, it has to be a reflection. The problem with too many people of God right now is that you are too caught up on wanting to shine when the real juice is being a reflection. I'm in the wrong church right here. They used to kill me. You remember that? They used to kill me. He looked too much like Vernon. Remember that? He just doing all that burning stuff. I'd rather be a copycat if I got the right cat to copy. Can I take that to 2020? I don't mind reflecting if I'm in front of the right light. Woo! I feel like having church tonight. He says, Lucifer, you got one job. You got one job. Lucifer translates to mean day star, morning star. You are a reflection. He kicks Lucifer and a third of the angels out of heaven. They collide with earth. Those fallen angels become demons. They inhabit the bodies of wicked men. Those wicked men begin to sleep with women and produce wicked families, which has wicked children. So as Noah was being righteous, his family was remaining the same while wickedness was being birthed, which is what we see in this post-Christian society. Wickedness is abound. That's critical. He's in heaven. His name is Lucifer. He falls to earth. We see in the book of Luke, he says, I beheld Satan. What does God do? Not only am I going to kick you and a third of the people who think like you. That's critical. That's one thing I know I've been frustrating my staff with lately. We've been having long talks about how you think. It's about how you think. You can spit in my face for the most part. I'm going to turn the other cheek and try my best to be a godly man, but I cannot stomach bad thinking. Y'all miss what I just said. You can get upset and say something out the way. You know, we can forgive that. But my problem is bad thinking. Because bad thinking got Lucifer and a third of the angels kicked out of heaven. Jesus Christ. I don't think you caught what I just said. Not nothing they did. Something they thought. Because God realized real quickly, as a man thinketh, so is he. So a lot of us think we good because we ain't did it, when God might be saying you wrong because you thought it. Heaven, Lucifer. Now I'll tell you what, get out. He kicks him out of heaven. They collide with earth. I want you to catch this now. While he's falling, he renames him. He does not rename him when he hits. He calls him a new name while he's falling. I think you missed what I just said. He says, no, 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 no. Lucifer, star, Satan, adversary. I want you to, let's do this. Am I helping anybody? Lucifer, star. Where are stars? Positioned. They're not in the sky, they're positioned. They're positioned. I want you to catch this. They're positioned. Satan, adversary, moves. Star position, Satan, activity. Satan, you want to know why I'm going to change your name? Since you're so busy trying to do so much, I'm going to call you according to your actions. He collides with earth and sin becomes abound. Everybody living any kind of way, having wild life and all over the place. He's looking around. The world is in a bad place. Watch this, but look at verse 8. But Noah found favor. New King James Version, but Noah found grace. Message Version, but Noah was different. And I said that last week about a Sunday ago about being different. What am I ascribing to do right now? I want to be different, not just for the sake of wanting to be different, but I want to be different by default. Please put that on the screen. Different by default. I'm not trying to be like, well, I ain't going to wear suits because I want to be different. No, this is just who I am. If I want to fully embrace the wholeness of Michael. Did you catch that, Aisha? Fully embrace the wholeness of me. My idiosyncrasies, my good and my bad. I want to come to fullness of who God created me. I want you to catch this now. In fact, the godly ignored God and became more worldly. So I want to free you real quickly. God's problem with the earth wasn't just sin. I want to argue that. It wasn't just sin. Because keep in mind, Adam sinned and he didn't do away with the earth. Adam betrayed his word. He didn't do away with the earth. God's problem was the godly became worldly. He didn't have nobody else he could trust. The adversary ran out of heroes. The army of the wicked outnumbered and in strength the army of the righteous. He looked around the world and said, I want you to really catch. Let's do this deductively. Stop being deep. He looked at the world and only found one person living right. He says, this ain't what I created. This ain't what I came for. I want you to catch this now. Noah didn't allow what was going on around him to get in him. He didn't allow his atmosphere to change his attitude. God was so bothered, he warned man. Watch this now. He warned man. Adam lived. I want you to look at Genesis 6:3. Then God said, I am not going to breathe life into men and women endlessly. Eventually, they're going to die. From now on, they can expect a lifespan of 120 years. I want to see if anybody knew this. Adam lived. You know how old Adam lived to be? You know how old? 930. Adam lived 930 years. Y'all missed what I just said. Y'all, I want to dive deep. And let's go into a theological study on this, Pastor Hollis, and we may have to sit down with some of my theological sons and daughters and we really break this down. When he breathed life into man, God don't breathe short breath. Can I put this in hood terms? God don't have asthma. God don't do nothing short term. He didn't. And my father taught me he didn't breathe because if God would have blew, he would have blew them all over the person. He spoke universe. He spoke a word into him, and that word began to give life. I want you to catch this now. And when he breathed life, when he breathed his life into them, they kept living. So I want you to catch this. So the sin, he didn't even take life after they fell. Adam and Eve disobeyed God, and God says, you know what? I got to kick you out the garden, do so. But boom, I'm going to keep letting you live because eventually you'll get it right. I'm going to give you grace. By this point, he realizes this is out of control. So what does he do? Everybody is so caught up on the flood, they don't realize we lost life. Everybody watching me today, and everybody in this room is being impacted by that decision right now. The reason we can't live to be 200 is because of the decision that was made, the choice that changed everything. Look at what he says. It's right there in verse 3. Eventually, they're going to die. From now on, they can expect a lifespan of 120 years. Their evil had got so out of control, he had to put a cap on how long they could be here. Jesus Christ. I don't think y'all hear me. Look at the NLT version. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not be put upon humans for such a long time, for they are only mortal flesh. In the future, their normal lifespan will be no more than 120 years. God said, I'm taking my spirit because they didn't listen. David found himself sinning and said, forget that. Restore to me. Whatever you do, don't take your spirit from me. Do that make sense now? I know I got some issues, but don't take your spirit from me. Psalms 51:10 and 13. I'm having good church today. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me away from from thy presence. Please don't take your spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of thy salvation. Sustain with me a willing spirit. Look at how many times spirit is listed in that one phrase. I'm going to read it again. He said, a steadfast spirit, your Holy Spirit, a willing spirit. I want to be different. I want to be favored with God and with man. That's critical. Noah was a righteous man. I want you to catch this. This brother stayed close to God. And if I can leave you with anything today, I want you to realize that your relationship with Christ is way more important than you think. Way more. It's deeper than daily devotion. It's deeper than Sunday attendance. It is a matter of life and after death. I don't think y'all caught that small nuance. It ain't a matter of life and death. It's a matter of life and after death. Because after death, we're going to have to make an account for what we're doing. I know what was righteous. Now put this in your notes. Are y'all taking good notes tonight? Right versus righteous. And anywhere y'all want to jump in, feel free to jump in because there's a difference. Noah wasn't right. He was righteous. Let's deal with this difference, right versus righteous. It's all in who you're trying to please. It's all in who you're trying to please. Right is trying to please people. Righteous, or let's ask this better, who gets the glory out of this decision? Did you catch that? Also, because you're righteous and found favor, I'm going to give you a gift. What was the gift God gave Noah in Genesis chapter 6, verses 10? Can we go to verse 9? Can you put verse 9 on the screen for him? There it is. Noah was a righteous man. Watch this. He was blameless. People couldn't find no fault in him. Favored by God. He walked with him daily. Now let me show you. Look at your life. People couldn't find fault in me. God was pleased with me. I walked with him daily devotion, my prayer life, how I live. I walked with God. I was in fellowship, communion with God. So God says, you know what? I'm going to give you something. What am I going to give you? Verse 10, 3 sons. Now, why did he list the daughters right here? This is critical. Sons have the propensity of reproducing. All right, so I want you to catch it. What are the sons' names? Shem, Ham, Japheth. Let's look at the first son, Shem. His name means renown, prosperity. The first thing I'm going to give you is prosperity. What's special about Shem? I hope you catch this. He was born circumcised. He was born circumcised. Shem was one of the 8 righteous men mentioned in Genesis who was allotted a portion of this world and the world to come. He was crippled by a lion, so that made him unfit to hold priestly office. But Noah gave Shem the priestly garments which he inherited from Adam. Folks said he wasn't worthy, but his daddy said he could have it. According to his physical attributes, and because the lion maimed him in a certain season, he was not fit to hold priestly garments. But Noah said, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Regardless of what the world say, I see something on you. Preach, Mike McClure. I want to submit to you right now that what God is doing in your life, don't be so caught up on what you're going to get. I want you to start focusing on what you're going to birth. That's nasty, ain't it, James? I'm tripping because you've been sharing with me, man, all the stuff you've accomplished in your life. And James, I'm going to push you in this next season. Let's birth it. See, I think people sleep on all the stuff you birthed. You don't mind if I talk about that, do you? On all the stuff you birthed. And we got to start doing a better job of that in the African-American community of tracing lineages. Everybody want to be self-made. I made myself. No, you didn't. Somebody had a hand in who you are. And one thing I love about you, James, is that I began to track your lineage. And I look at how Mignon, dope as she is, was singing with you. I look back, Josiah Martin, singing with you. I'm looking at old footage, and I called you one night at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, James, is that Todd Galbraith? You're like, yeah, Todd was in fire. I'm like, oh my God, Lord, you are good. Todd Galbraith was with you. Lisa Noel Smith was with you. All these Zaccardi with you. I'm looking at all these great people. And I'm like, God, look at the lineage. People are going to trace my lineage. And they're going to say, you know what? Where did this guy come from? Well, the first time I saw him was inside of James, with James. You get glory in heaven for that. We so busy chasing royalties when we need to be chasing heavenly rewards. No, in heaven, for every million people who stream big, you got credit in heaven for that. Did you catch that? It's the lineage. The Bible harked on lineage. The God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. But now we don't even want to tell them who our pastor is because we want to look like we got it. We don't want to sit at nobody's feet. We don't want to give nobody kudos for nothing. Y'all don't hear what I'm talking about. This prodigal son was blessed because his daddy gave him a ring, lineage. You take this anywhere, and because they see my symbol, you good. The lineage. He said, I'm giving you, watch this now. Everybody else talking about they're priests. They getting garments they had made. I'm going to give you what came from Adam. Shem was given the priestly garments which he inherited from Adam. Shem, renowned prosperity. The second thing he birthed, watch this, is Ham, which is heat, hot, brown, where some theologians think black people come from. You know, we're not even going to get woke tonight because we can debunk a lot of this, but I want you to understand, it's Ham. What does Ham mean? Heat, hot, brown. He says, number one, I'm going to give you prosperity. Number two, watch this. Whenever I got to turn the heat up in your life, it's because there's some things I need to sweat out. It's some things I need to sweat out. He says, I'm arming you, Noah, number one, with the ability to produce. Number two, the ability, watch this, to sweat. That I'm tooling you with heat. Watch this, your fat, expansion to make fat. That is the anointing. He was married before the flood, but he didn't have his 7 sons till after the flood. Japheth was married before the flood, but God withheld children from him till after the flood. Wow, this is crazy for every person who's believing God for a child. I want to help you right quick. God withheld his child because he didn't want his child born in something that he wouldn't have been able to survive. So Japheth's no had purpose on it. I came to preach to every person who's been crying and fussing about a no God gave you. And I want you to mature and realize, God, if you told me no, there must be a reason you told me no, because there's something attached to the yes that would have broke me. I don't think you heard what I just said. What if his children wouldn't have been allotted to come on the ark? My God, I'm going to have church by myself. Japheth is the physical manifestation that there is a blessing after the storm. So look at this now. Noah's life was one of, and I'm going to stop. I only got a couple more minutes left. Noah's life was one of faith, righteousness, and endurance. I'll pick up on the rest of it next week. Faith, righteousness, endurance. What are 3 things that we need from God? Faith, righteousness, endurance. Faith, to hold fast to what God told us to do. Righteousness. You want to know what I love about God? God calls me righteous even though I'm not. God has this funny tendency of calling you that which you have not yet become. Did you catch that? He said, so faith, righteousness, endurance. So what's one lesson we can learn from Noah as we prepare to leave today? Number one, don't miss the boat. That's simple, ain't it? Number one, don't miss the boat. Let's not even play games. Number one, don't miss the boat. And I want to be free. I want to speak very candidly right here. There's a boat that everybody better be on right now. When we look at the world and we see plague, now we got killer bees. It's starting to feel like Exodus, ain't it? I woke up the other day like, Lord, whoever didn't go get on that boat and go to Joppa, I need them to leave right now. I don't go, hey, whoever went to Joppa, I need you to go. The world looks crazy. Get on the boat. Grandma used to sing a song that says, 'Tis the old ship of Zion. 'Tis the old ship of, they don't know that, Zion. Then they used to end and say, you better get on board. Get on board. Hear me when I say this. Tomorrow ain't promised. That's real, ain't it? Tomorrow ain't promised. Your pastor can get sick tomorrow. Favor don't block you from sickness. I'm finna go deeper. And righteousness don't block you from it either. Your grandmama my grandmother was a saint. Hear me when I want to be very clear. A saint. Nobody found fault in my grandmama. She loved God, the prototypical first lady. Big hat, second row, pray for everybody, teach Sunday school, vacation Bible school at every revival, 13 children, live right to this day. She would wake up every morning, cook a full breakfast for her husband, anything. Hear me. And just suddenly died. Don't miss the boat. Number two, remember that we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. Number three, we're going home. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. He says, Noah, it's about to rain. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. That's important. Had Noah waited till the first drop to start building, he would have drowned. I want to argue that many of you are waiting to build what you should already be planning. I can't wait till my spiritual son church gets started. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But the blessed part about it is by the time the world hear it, it's already built. Infrastructure already built. Systems already going. Volunteers already recruited. Plan ahead. Number four, stay fit. Stay fit. Stay fit. When you're 600 years old, keep in mind Noah 600. When you're 600 years old, someone may ask you what you're doing. You got to keep in mind, you got to be in a certain place to carry the assignment God's given. Did you catch that? Number five, don't listen to critics. Just get on with the job. When you're building anything significant, it's going to attract critics. I was tripping the other day because I was in the studio. I have a small studio at home, and I was in my studio working on some music. And outside the studio is where my dog is, like a little porch or whatever. So my dog was right there, and we normally feed him right there. So I asked the boys, have y'all fed the dog today? They said, no, sir. I said, well, get out there and feed the dog, all right? The moment they opened my door, all of these moths bum rushed the room. I'm mad now. Moths, everything. I'm trying to figure out what happened. I left the light on. It was dark outside, and I left the light on. And because I left the light on, the moths and flies and gnats went to what was shining. Well, it must be something. I'll never forget I got depressed one day because somebody said, it got to be something wrong with that pastor from the rock because people are always talking about him. And I used to be like, is there something wrong with me? And the Holy Spirit said, no, don't get mad because the light ain't on everywhere. They attracted to light. Y'all, I'm in the wrong church. I'm in the wrong church today. Number six, build your future on high ground. Build your future on high ground. Number seven. No, go back to number six. I want to talk about the danger of living low. The danger of living low. If you're too low, you're going to be submerged by what's coming. Why do you think you hear people say, take the high road? That's French. Number seven, speed isn't everything. Speed isn't everything. Had Noah tried to build that boat fast, it probably would have left something out. He built it right. One of my sins has been going fast. I've always wanted to get it. But every time I've moved fast, something important got left out. Am I helping anybody? I want to say this to you. Can we speak from a pragmatic standpoint? The snail is on the same boat with the cheetah. Now, even though the cheetah got there on Monday, the boat wasn't going to leave till two snails showed up. Just because they get there first don't mean you ain't going to get there. I'm teaching today. I promise you I am. Hear me when I say this. All right, number 8, when stressed, float a while. Oh my God. No way in the boat is there an engine. He built the boat to ride on what would kill others. That speaks to everybody who's trying to possess power with no patience. All the power in the world ain't gonna get you through. LeBron stuck at the house. He got power. President Obama stuck at the house. He got power. So power ain't gonna get you out. patience is. I speak patience. Jesus, I speak patience. Here, your pastor. Here it is, number 9. Remember, the ark was built by amateurs and the Titanic was built by professionals. Stop thinking you got to have it all figured out just to do it. Trust God. Trust God. Number 10, don't move until God speaks. Don't move until God speaks. Listen, if you're listening to me, I pray you got something out of this little lesson today. I'm just excited. From quarantine, I could just feel the presence of God moving and breathing on all that we're doing. It's my prayer that you don't settle for what the world is trying to offer you, that you use this time to come out better. Noah said, if I got to be quarantined for 150 plus days, however long he was, he realized I'm coming out of this better. He made sure he had the right stuff on his boat. He made sure he used the right materials. And I want to speak over your life that you're coming out of this stronger. You're coming out of this wiser. You're coming out of this better. I love you.